Owning the Atlanta voiceover studio, we get all sorts of business questions, and especially in our VO mentorship group. One of the questions we get asked is, should I start an LLC? Or should I become an S-Corp? And unfortunately, there's a lot of bad advice floating around online. Some people are going to tell you to create an LLC before you've even booked your first job. Others are going to tell you to become an S-Corp as soon as possible. In my opinion, for most voice actors, that's way too early. Today, I'll walk you through the path Heidi and I took from DBA to LLC to S-Corp, why we made those changes, and when they actually started making sense for our businesses. And I'll give you the practical takeaway that you could do right now for where you are in your business. Here's the disclaimer. This is based on my and our personal experiences. I'm not a CPA, tax preparer, or attorney, so always consult a qualified professional before making legal or tax decisions. So my answer. I personally wouldn't worry about creating an LLC until your voiceover business is actually generating income. And our tax preparer and fiduciary encouraged us in that when we got started. For the first year or two of Heidi's voiceover business, she set up a separate bank account as a DBA, doing business as. Think of a DBA as an inexpensive way to separate your business identity from your personal finances while you're getting started. I'll put a link in the notes for a step-by-step process of creating a DBA in Georgia. If you're in a different state, you'll just need to look up the corresponding process. Now, you can still write off expenses under a DBA. It's cheaper and easier to set up than an LLC. It doesn't protect your assets like an LLC, but when you're first starting out, an incident requiring protection is highly unlikely. And if you're separating and keeping good records of what's personal and what's business, the IRS likes that and will be less likely to come a-knocking. So here's Heidi's personal path. She went from DBA to LLC to S-Corp. For me, I started out booking relatively well right out the gate, and my CPA and tax guy advised me just going straight to being an S-Corp. So as you can see, just between Heidi and I, everyone's situation is different. So consult a professional to see what's right for you. That said, when should you consider becoming an LLC? When you start making money and think this could be a business versus a hobby. One thing that's important to understand is an LLC is a legal business structure. It can provide liability protection by separating your personal assets from your business assets. It doesn't automatically save you taxes. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. With an LLC, you could do a monthly guaranteed payment from your business to your personal accounts. Now, before we go any further, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, this sounds way more complicated than learning how to use my microphone, you're not alone. I get it. Don't ignore this side because you probably will need to address it at some point. The business side of voiceover can often feel overwhelming at first, but hang with me because it's okay. We're going to tackle this little by little. And the next part is where many voice actors either save money or create unnecessary headaches. Now, when should you file to become an S-Corp? Well, here's another point that confuses a lot of people. An S-Corp isn't actually a different type of business. It's a tax election. In other words, many voice actors have an LLC that's taxed as an S-Corp. And coincidentally, that's what Heidi just moved to about a month ago. For an S-Corp, I'd make sure you had a couple of years under your belt as an LLC or a DBA first. Again, consult your tax professional. For me, I like seeing at least a couple years of consistent income before making that decision. Your CPA needs enough history to determine whether the tax savings outweigh the additional payroll, bookkeeping, and filing requirements. You have to do payroll as an S-Corp, and that can be a little bit more complicated. With an LLC, you could reconcile your own books and then hire a CPA for taxes. An S-Corp is more complicated, and we have someone that does the payroll for us, so I don't need to worry about that. It does cost, but it's worth it. Another difference is that you typically have more tax benefits with an S-Corp versus an LLC. But our CPA was still able to maximize Heidi's deductions as an LLC for a long time. Okay, checking in with you. If the business side of voiceover feels like the hardest part of the industry, you're definitely not alone. And this is actually why we have workshops like the Business Behind VoiceOver with Sandy Harrison-Cooksey, just to help take some of the mystery out of running your business so you can spend more time doing what you love. Her VO Business Workshop is coming up in September, and it'll be super helpful for you. I'll link it below so that you can check it out and see if it's right for you, and you can join in person or online. Sandy's a great voiceover talent and business person. We've known her for years, and she makes this easy for anyone to grasp. Okay, so for you, what's the practical takeaway? If you're just getting started, focus on booking work. A separate business bank account, and if appropriate in your state, a DBA, may be all you need. If your voiceover income is becoming a real business, consider an LLC after talking with a professional. And if your income has become consistent and significant, ask your CPA whether electing S-Corp taxation makes financial sense. The biggest things I want you to remember is this. Don't rush to build the business before you've built the business. When you're starting out, focus on becoming a better actor, creating a great demo, and marketing consistently, and booking work. And as your business grows, your business structure can grow with it. If this video helped answer one of those questions you've been wondering about, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with another voice actor who's trying to build their business the right way. Atlanta VoiceOver Studio and ProVoiceOverTraining.com exist to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your voiceover journey, giving you the resources and tools you need to create the career you want. Thanks for watching, and remember, you're building a voiceover business. So think outside the box, and cheers to your success. Are you a voiceover talent who's been trying to book work on your own but not finding the success you want?
Then maybe it's time you get professionals on your team who can bring you real opportunities to book voiceover projects big and small, national and regional.
Who are these pros? Agents. Hey, I'm Mike.
And I'm Heidi. We own the Atlanta VoiceOver Studio and ProVoiceOverTraining.com.
And in case you're wondering who we are and why listen to us, you can actually see some of our work by going to iSpot.tv and typing in our names.
We're both full-time voiceover talent repped by some of the best agencies in the U.S., and we want to help you get agent representation.
While it's great to work on your own to get clients, it takes a lot of time and energy to research and cold call and email.
So why not, as a voiceover small business owner, add agents to your team who have clients already, will actively look for more, and who will bring those opportunities to you.
We're huge believers in having agents on your team. 95% of our income comes from projects we book through agents.
The problem we hear from so many talent that we know or who come through the studio is that it can be tough to get agent representation.
Yeah, they'll typically say, agents are intimidating. What do I say when I reach out to them?
What's the best way to submit? And what do I say?
We get it. We've been there. And thanks to what we've learned from our agents and agents we've interviewed in our podcast, in classes, and at conferences,
we learned exactly what they want when talent reach out to them. We've never really seen any course teaching anyone this type of etiquette before.
And our goal is to always bring you the resources you need to create the career you want.
So we built a whole course around helping you understand what agents are looking for,
how to email them, what to put in the email, and to help dispel any myths.
This course will give you the best practices that we found in our VO career as it pertains to getting agent representation.
And we crafted it so that you can put everything you learned into practice right away.
The Agent Rep Prep course is for you if you're a seasoned veteran talent who just haven't tapped into this side of the VO business and want to understand the agent mindset.
Or if you're relatively new to voiceover, but you're pumped and you just want to begin planning to get that agent.
When we started out in voiceover, we had to figure this out and make mistakes on our own. So then we thought, let's put something together to make it easy for other talent to learn.
So we did, and it's all here. We've been doing this course live at our Atlanta VoiceOver Studio and have seen talent move on to have successful VO careers with their new agents.
Here's a bit of what you'll learn.
Audition breakdowns.
How to self-direct.
Talent and agent expectations.
How to email agents and what to include to get representation.
How to find voiceover agents to submit to, and more.
We know this course will open your eyes to the world of agent representation and help you in your career.
We'll also provide bonuses like our VO roadmap and any notes within the lessons under the videos to help you get the most out of the course. So if you're ready to get some agents on your team, we look forward to helping you.
Now go get repped with the Agent Rep Prep course at ProVoiceOverTraining.com.